Hello students, today our topic is about the web development and the AI architecture. See, firstly I want to give a brief note about this. We all know that there are many kinds of websites and they are of the organizations, educational, commercial, hospitalized and everything. See, for every institution, for every organization, for everything, there is a website. Even if you go to any restaurant, there is also a website. That organization or that particular restaurant is also having a website which helps them to get the reviews of that restaurant. Also, everything is having a server. Every application, every data will be stored in the server only. As we said earlier, the data is considered to as a kind of the property in today's world. So let's start for the websites, web pages, and how to create a website using the AI prompts and what are the things will be included for the creation of the websites and web pages. So let's deep dive into that. So let's start with the introduction to the website. So a website is a structured collection of interconnected web pages with the digital assets such as images, videos, text files, and interactive scripts, hosted on a web server and accessible via a common domain name over a network like the internet. See, here we are saying that a website is a collection of interconnected web pages. Those web pages can be having the things like the images, also called as the photos, videos, text files, audio files. The audio files, the video files, the photos or images, these all comes under the multimedia files. So all these can be accessed via the internet connection only. Without the internet connection, we cannot request to the server to provide us the given data or anything which you want to use or which you want to read or which you want to learn. So now we are going to the client server model. So it helps us to understand how we get the data and how the server responds to the user and the client and the server. So we'll be learning about the client server model. So first one, the client. Here we are saying the client as the browser. The workflow begins when a user enters a uniform resource locator URL or clicks a link within a web browser. Example, we can use as the Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Safari. The Google Chrome and the Mozilla Firefox, these can be often used, but the Safari is mostly used by the iOS users, which means the MacBook users or the persons who are having the Mac operating system. See, the client will be requesting about something. The request goes to the server and the server sends the response to the client. Here the client can be said as the customer and the server can be said as the owner. The next one, the request. The browser generates an HTTP or HTTPS request transmitted across the global network infrastructure to locate the target web server via the DNS resolution. Next one, the response. The destination web server processes the request, locates the requested files, dynamically generates them and responds back with the status code and the required payload. The next one, the rendering. The client-side browser interprets the received payload, HTML structure, CSS styles and JavaScript interactively to render a visual human readable website. See, this is all about the client server architecture. Now I will be explaining you clearly how it is being used by the client, that is the customer, the server, that is the owner. See, whenever we will be taking the example of a restaurant, you said that the client is the customer, the owner is the restaurant. Whenever a person goes to a restaurant, he wants to order something, so he will be checking the menu and he will be calling the server there, and he will be telling that, see, I want this particular thing, which I want to have the food, I want to eat this, or I want to get this thing packed. Likewise, here also the client is requesting the server, the owner, to provide me this kind of information from the website. The client is sending the request to the server. The server is seeing that and it is providing its response to the client. See, the server can also be said as a computer system. The servers can be embedded within a computer system also. The interconnected servers are said as the data centers. Whenever the client requests the server to provide the information, to provide something which that person wants to know, the server will be getting that request from the user or the client, and it checks it and it sends the response to the client. Here the URL is playing a key role because it is having a specified web browser or specified web browser. It is using like a Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Safari, and the request will be sent in the format of the protocol like HTTP or HTTPS. HTTP stands for the Hypertext Transfer Protocol. HTTPS is also same, but only here the extra word is S, that means the secure, and it is targeting web browser via DNS, that is the domain name system. Okay, now we are coming to the next topic. It is about the introduction to the front-end technologies and the tools. See, the front-end technologies and tools play a key role. So let's learn about that. The front-end or the client side encompasses everything that users directly witness, interact with the experience and within their browser interface. The core technologies are the HTML, CSS, JavaScript. HTML stands for the Hypertext Markup Language. It is the structural foundation of any digital layout. It categorizes and structures text, embeds multimedia, and establishes headings, paragraphs, and links using semantic markup tags. Next one, the CSS. It stands for the Cascading Style Sheets. It is the visual styling layer. It controls the fonts, color palettes, visual aesthetics, spacing, grids, and multi-device fluid responsiveness. JavaScript. It is the behavioral engine. It facilitates the complex client-side interactions, animations, synchronous, asynchronous data state updates, and forms verification. See, these three are mainly used. The HTML is used for the providing of some data in the front end. The CSS, it provides a style. The JavaScript includes, it makes the both of them interact. Next one, here comes the industry front-end tools which are mostly being used. The frameworks and libraries. The React, Vue.js, and Angular optimize development workflows by structuring components into the reusable blocks. Design environments. They are the Figma and Adobe XD are employed by UX UI. UX stands for user experience. UI stands for the user interface. Professionals to model high fidelity interactive wireframes prior to engineering. Integrated editors. These are the Visual Studio Codes. That is the VS Code serves as the industry standard environment for code composition and real-time syntax checking. Next, here comes the introduction to the back-end technologies and the tools. See, these are the very important things because it plays a key role. The front-end and back-end together creates a website, and the data can be stored in the back-end tools and technologies only. So let's start. The backend serves as the logical infrastructure operating behind the scenes. It governs databases, application logic, secure authentication, and computational tasks. The core components of the web server. It is the hardware, software instances continuously listening for routing and processing incoming HTTP, HTTPS data packages. Application logic. Specialized programming layers structured to process enterprise data rules, securely manage identities, and direct application states. The DBMS, Database Management System. Safe storage repositories designed to cleanly catalog, modify, and retrieve transactional data. The DBMS, it is said as the SQL, Structured Query Language. The data will always be stored in the database only. That's why the database plays a key role. The front end, the client will be entering the data and it will be stored in the database. On that only, the client can get the required or specified data which the client wants to get. And here comes a prominent backend stack ecosystems, the runtimes and the frameworks. Node.js, JavaScript, asynchronous event-driven engine enabling universal full-stack JS development. Python, Django and Flask, ideal for high-level computing, clean readable execution and data-centric processing. PHP, Laravel, extensively fuels content management frameworks like WordPress across modern hosting landscapes. Database infrastructures, relational SQL, those are the PostgreSQL and MySQL, arrange the information into strict relational tables, non-relational NoSQL like the MongoDB catalogs, unstructured data sets inside document objects. And here comes the procedure for creating the website using the AI prompts. See, the AI is playing a key role in today's technological world, in today's modern world. The AI stands for the artificial intelligence. See, one way, in a way that AI is helping the humans to complete their task in less time. Likewise, in the same way, it is also it is also eliminating the jobs of the humans or the working professionals in the concerned industries. So likewise, we can use the AI. We can use the AI for making our work so easy. Here we are using the AI prompts to creating the websites in an easy and simple manner. So let's start. The generative artificial intelligence allows the engineers and educators to construct functional websites efficiently by designing prompt sequences that direct modern LLMs to generate pristine code blocks. The step 1. Define the scope information architecture. Direct to the AI model to establish a clean hierarchical structural layout outlining pages and structural flow definitions. Act as an expert web architect. Create an optimized sitemap and responsive page layout structure for a 3-page education portal named ACS for you. See, here we are providing you a simple prompts. You can clearly see structural creation. HTML. Command the AI engine to compose clean validated semantic HTML code using proper contemporary elements. Step 3. Styling and theme integration. CSS. Inject the style rules by specifying modern, dark, light or accent themes to match your organizational design code guidelines. Step 4. Interactive scripting, that is a JavaScript. Enrich the page using the structure with vanilla scripting elements to handle responsive menus or the interactive form functions. Step 5. Code assembly and hosting. Consolidate the output scripts inside your editor. Example, the VS Code you can use or transfer directly to an online AI workspace environment. Example, Replit bold.new to host and publish your application. See, I'll be giving you an example. See, you can simply use a Gemini AI. It is also one of the AI tool which helps a person to create the websites in an easy manner. First, to log into that Gemini AI, you can state that you can add that into the canvas mode and you specify that in the pro version of the Gemini, which cause the pro version helps you to create or to use that as many times as you want. And the level, there should be thinking level should be of the extended version, because whenever you put the extended version, it creates as a human, and it will be very interactive and very good for understanding purpose. Okay, thank you. That's all for today.